Boys, what we got here is the ISS Automotive Apple CarPlay and Android Auto integration system. ISS Automotive was graciously giving me a discount to purchase this unit so that I can do an installation review. First thing I want to point out is that the directions are complete English and very easy to read and very thorough, where normally when I get a unit like this, it's pretty vague and you just basically got to figure it out yourself. This unit is not like that. So this is a complete plug and play unit. You don't replace your stereo. This goes in behind it and plugs into all of the harnesses from your stock unit and gives you wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Now, ISS Automotive specializes in all kinds of GM products. They are also located here in the United States. So they specialize in a lot of GM products, but there are other ones. There's Ford, Dodge, and stuff like that, and I haven't really checked through those products. But they also do instrument clusters. You can get them customized or just rebuilt. They do radios. You can get a stock head unit rebuilt, or you can have it customized. HVAC units, entertainment, and every one of their products comes with a lifetime warranty. Now, if they give me a discount code for some of their products, it's going to be down in the link description. If you don't see it down there, then I didn't get one. If there is one down there, then help yourself to it. There's lots of different products on there, especially if you're a GM guy. It's pretty nice deal they have going on there. So they don't really have an installation video for the CTS specifically. They have one for the SRX. And they're basically the same, but the teardown is different than the SRX. So on these, you're going to start on the upper dash up here, and you're going to pop this piece out, this mesh grill, and then you're going to find a bunch of screws in there. I'll show you those. Then you're going to pop this off. Then I believe this trim pops out. There's another piece in here, I think. Oh, once you get this off, I think it's this piece right here that's held in with clips. You pop it out. There's a couple screws behind that. Well, once you get the head unit out, then that's when we're going to jump into this integrated box. Now, this is just going to go back in behind your unit, and it's going to be a plug and play unit. Now, there's dip switches on this. I believe they have them set already. But I'm gonna have to see if the directions are very thorough, so I'm sure that it covers all that. And then in here are all your harnesses for it, and yes, there are lots, and there's dip switches on that too, and that's probably for your steering wheel controls. But being that this is a specific Cadillac unit, everything should be all straightforward. One thing that I do recommend whenever you're unplugging a radio or messing with a radio, disconnect your battery. You might not have a problem with unplugging it and plugging it back in, but you might also blow a fuse in the process, and then once you plug it back in, you'll have nothing. And I've had that problem before just because I was stubborn and didn't disconnect the battery. So first thing we're going to do is go back and disconnect the battery. I like to have this door open when I disconnect it, because you can move this door by hand if you just move it easy so you don't strip the gears, because this is plastic where the gears ride on. But you can move it by hand. But if it's closed, you're going to have a heck of a time getting it open. All right, so it gives you kind of directions up here for the dip switches, but right here it explains them. Sorry for the dinging, but I also start the car up, put it in drive, and then shut it off. That way that gives you all this room right here to work with all this. Another thing to note is there are these buttons on the box itself, and that is to fine-tune the screen to adjust the screen size, like so it fits correctly, and you're going to need to do that after you get it up and running. So remember not to put the whole thing back together before you start it up, because you might need to access this to adjust your screen. Another thing you need to keep in mind while you're doing this, don't close the trunk after you disconnect the battery. Just a word to the wise. Do not close it, because then you're going to be crawling through your back seat to get in here. That's no fun. All right, so one of the things I told you was to pop the secret compartment door open before you disconnect the battery. If you don't disconnect it quick enough, it shuts itself. That's just a quick word to you. I'm going to deal with it shut, so we'll get around it. Okay, so now I'm going to start with these bolts up here, and from the windshield, this is going to be your best view. You'll get to see me popping it off of there and getting to all the bolts. Okay, so when you get all those bolts out, this pops up, and that's all you need to do. You don't need to take this out. You can if you want to. There's really no need for it. At this point, you're going to see a screw there and a screw over there, and I think those are the only two that hold this trim piece on. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember. I think it is. Now we're going to undo all of our plugs and get the screen out, and then we can look at things a little bit better. Your dip switch is here. This is going to go to your power plug. You're going to put that in there. There's a Cadillac harness right here, and it plugs into there. This goes into the back of your radio, and then this is where I got messed up. This plug right here, it says Cadillac power. Well, I didn't know where it went until now. It plugs in to this unit in right there, and that's your battery, ground, power, all that. And then this plug that comes off of that is a 8-pin connector, and that's going to go in right here to your 8-pin connector. There's a lot that goes with this, okay guys, so bear with me. There's also a switch right here that switches you from, I believe, the stock unit to this new unit, and it's just got a button, a just little push button here. Why we moving on me? Got this push button here, but that's going to switch you from this aftermarket unit to the stock unit. Only thing left to really do is plug this into the stereo. I'm not going to put the USB up. I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to put my dash piece up here and plug in everything, and then we're going to hook the battery back up and see what happens. I believe that's everything we need to mess with. I'm going to leave this dip switch out in case I need to change something. So we got that and this out. Everything's plugged in. Let's go ahead and hook the battery back up. All right, so we're up and running, boys. There's a couple things I had to do. The push button switches you between OEM screen, the system screen from this box, and then the two auxiliaries that I'm not using. The auxiliary cord, it looks like a headphone jack. You do have to use that if you want sound. I can plug into it, and my Android Auto works perfectly fine. You have to run the auxiliary cable from this box into your auxiliary input in your armrest here, and that's how you get your sound. It comes from the auxiliary port on here. So you set your stock screen to auxiliary, then you Bluetooth connect to this box or plug into it, and that's how you get your sound. Everything is working. I don't want to show you my map right now, but as you can see, I do have Android Auto up. There are factory settings in here you can mess with. My backup camera works, my OEM backup camera, and then goes right back to the screen. That is awesome. Everything works the way it's supposed to. All right, look at this. Look at this. It's hot in here. Anyways, you need to get this thing tucked back in as far as possible. So what I had to do was unplug everything, tuck this thing back in here, which it still needs to go down, and it will. You just got to get it past this wiring harness down here in the bottom, and you can get this thing tucked down in below the wiring harness and in there in place. That other power box is back in there, and then the only thing left is going to be everything that hooks to the radio. So that tidies it up, but I need to, you know, let me get this back in behind the harness and I'll show you what it looks like. Now it's time to fudge this thing back in here. So I'm going to tuck the radio off to the side, and we'll get to seeing how nice this is going to go in. So the thing must have just needed a reboot, because after I rebooted it, now wireless Android Auto is working. If you notice, there it is. Working. So it is a straightforward job. Yes, it is very hard to get everything tucked back in there, but once you get it back in and you get the radio in, it goes pretty smooth from there. And yeah, it's a very clean setup, very nice. And then I mounted my push button right here up by the trim. You don't even hardly notice it, but that switches, like I said, there's two auxiliary screens. So there's one that I'm not using either one. There's the second one, and then the next push takes me back to my original radio, as you can see. Very nice unit, very clean. If you guys want to get your hands on one of these, head over to ISS Automotive. And like I said, they have a lot of GM products there. So if you need something for your GM vehicle, they might have what you need. And if you like this video, smash that like button, consider subscribing. Hit that dislike button if your mom had that integrated vibrate module installed. Ha! And we'll see you on the next episode of Unwrapped.